But we don't have a bumper for the game. Woo! What's up, Northwood?
What's up, Northwood?
How are you doing? It's Wednesday. Glad you're tuning in. We have people in the building.
I know, this is really weird.
There are people here. If you're in the building, will you just let people know? We're really loud. Make it sound like there's like a lot of people in here.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Okay.
That was like 4 people that said anything because
Yeah.
that's what high schoolers do.
They don't actually want to participate.
I know. Somebody once told me that high schoolers are like cats. They mostly just want you to leave them alone.
Pretty much. That's what I've heard too.
And they'll scratch your eyes out if you get too close.
Yes.
So it's Wednesday. Glad you're here. Baseball's back.
Is it?
Baseball is back.
Awesome.
Anybody excited that baseball's back?
I'm excited.
We got 2 people that are excited that baseball is back.
Guy.
Baseball is back. They're starting to train.
That's cool.
60-game season. I'm excited.
Oh, nice.
Even though probably won't be able to watch any games. Hey, I want to know if Safia was still the first one to say hi in the chat. She got beat out.
Did she?
Yes, she's in the building, but she couldn't be the first one to say hi on the chat. All right, we can't hear, so that's okay.
Sorry.
All right. Good times. Good times. Well, just like every week, we are going to give some stuff away.
And this week, it's a mystery.
It is a mystery.
It's going to be awesome.
You guys
gonna
like
get something,
mysteries?
And everyone else possibly will get something.
Hey, you know what I noticed already? That youth group hasn't changed. Everybody is still on their phones. And I know they could probably be like, we're watching the live stream, which is happening right in front of them.
We're still getting our views, even from people.
Whatevs. That's all good. That's how we boost. That's how we puff up our viewership.
We bring people in and just
make them
turn
watch
on.
it. That's good. We're going to give some stuff away. We have some mystery prizes. How many prizes do we have?
I think, don't we have 2?
We have 2 prizes, and we're going to give away a prize to somebody in this room. Mm-hmm. Give it up for somebody in this room. And we're going to give a prize away to
you.
One of you.
Possibly.
One of you. So, if you're online and you're in the chat, then you've got to chat up. The more you chat up, the more likely it is that Liz will pick you. That's just how it works. But make those chats meaningful, all right? Not just like a bunch of, basic girl stuff. So, anyways.
We don't really want drama.
No drama from my mama.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else going on in the world that you want to talk about?
I don't think so, other than that we got a game coming up, and I'm excited about it.
There's a game.
There is a game.
I'm going to get out of the way so you can lead this game.
Sweet.
All right.
All right. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a couple things on the board. It's called, or on the TV, it's called Restaurants Emoji Edition. So I need Grace and Chase to come up here real quick. Give them a round of applause. Come on, people. Here's what's going to happen. Yes, give them a round of applause too on the chat. It's awesome. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to be on top of the stage, and you're going to actually want to zoom out camera right there. Perfect, just like that. So what's going to happen is they're going to see something show up, and they're going to think of it. You two get a look at that one over there. But what will happen is you'll see the emojis that will come up, and you're trying to guess the restaurant that it's representing. And so it's going to be pretty sweet. What happens is if they get it wrong, they go from being up here to they get to take a step down. And if they continue getting them wrong, then they take another step down. They have 3 tries that are wrong. So if they get one wrong, they have to move down. So on and so forth. The loser gets to have a pie in the face. It's going to be amazing. Y'all ready?
No.
Are you all ready?
Wait, can we help them?
Yes. Sides. Get to help. So it's going to be awesome. Sorry, chat, you don't get to help them, but you get to answer in the chat, and we'll see. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Who do you think that is?
KFC.
All right, yeah, you're going to turn it around? There you go. You're going to face it towards me? Yay, you got it right. All right. Let's go. All right, next one. Hey, actually, I want everyone to give a round of applause every time they get it right. Perfect. Thank you. All right, what's this one? You can say it out loud. Tell them. Help them out. There you go. What do you think it is? I don't know. I don't know. There we go. There you go.
Yeah. Chase, can you borrow these? Here.
Next one. Here we go. Ooh, what do you think this one is?
You guys know there's a screen next to
And you can look at the screen next to you too. I wanted to see them like try to figure it out by squinting. 3, 2, 1. What do you think it is?
Outback Steakhouse.
Outback? Okay. Outback Steakhouse. You are correct. All right, let's go to the next one. Ooh. All right, here's what we're gonna do. She got it first. I think we're gonna do that. I think just to make it even more entertaining. There we go.
We should have 2.
Perfect. No, just one. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Fastest one. 3, 2. Oh, same time. Good job. I don't even know what that last word says. Can you all read that? Like what is that? I see like maybe panda and like that was like stressed handwriting from a doctor. Like I can't read that second word. Take a step down. Go to the next one. Here we go. What do you think it is?
Cow dairy.
Cow dairy? Cow Dairy Queen. There we go. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, I don't want anyone to help with this. Can you do it?
Cheesecake Industrial Complex.
Who's got it? Who's got it? Ooh, same time. What is the last?
Cheesecake Factory.
I see Facty.
No, look.
That looks like Facty. Judges, what do you say? Chase got it. Take a step down. Here we go. All right. Here we. Who do we got? Maybe. Maybe not. Taco? Chipotle. There we go. He got it. Step down. All right.
Does that mean I have to? See, that says Chipotle.
Chipotle? That's all right. That's all right.
That's what we call it.
Hey, everyone give a round of applause to Chase.
Barb's gonna be mad.
Sorry, Barb. I just kind of sprayed your... Actually, Kian, you're cleaning tonight, right? I'm sorry. Hey, so this is what the lovely loser gets. Here we go.
Can I just do it? No, can I?
No, I'm gonna smash it.
I'm gonna do it.
Smash your face in it then.
Okay.
I want you to go hard. Here we go. Can you zoom in?
I'm gonna do it.
I didn't see that. Go. Face. Yeah. Oh, boo. You gotta put it over. Boo. Yeah, I want you to eat it. Take it back and eat it. All right. Hey, everyone give a round of applause on the chat for Chase. Good job, good job, good job. And next, we got a bumper for our wonderful message.
All right, if I had a giant booger hanging from my nose, or if my fly was down, or for some reason I had ketchup on my forehead, and you're like, people are checking their flies right now. If I had ketchup on my forehead, and you're like, how did you get ketchup on your forehead? Would you tell me? Yes, sure. Would you say something, or are you the kind of person that would just point and laugh, like, oh, John has a booger hanging from his nose? I don't know what kind of person you are, but chances are you're one of those people. You would say something, or you would just enjoy it all to yourself. Have you ever had an experience where you were so thankful because somebody spoke to you about something, let you know something, even though it was awkward for them and awkward for you, but it saved you from future embarrassment? That ever happened to you? Where somebody spoke up and saved you from some future embarrassment? Yeah, we appreciate when somebody does that, whether it's uncomfortable for them or uncomfortable for us. We appreciate when someone at school is like, dude, that person that you're talking about, they're standing literally right behind you. Did that ever happen to you? Yeah, I know. Finn gets beat up all the time for that. He told me not to mention his name. You never do that. You'd never say, don't mention my name, because then I'm just going to mention your name. He may not come back to youth group, though. I'm not sure. We've all had those moments. No one likes hearing that we have food on our shirt, or you like tuck your shirt into your underwear, which has happened to me before. But when somebody actually cares enough to say something, and not just point their finger at you and make fun of you, but actually say something, I think most of us appreciate it. I want you to think about it from kind of a different angle. You ever felt like you should say something to someone, but you weren't sure what to say or how to say it? Like you just know, you felt like in your heart, like I need to speak up to my friend, right? And it's usually, to somebody who you would consider a friend because they're doing this or that, and you're like, somebody needs to say something, but you're just not sure how to even go about it. Telling your friend that, he has food on his face is one thing, but talking to your friend about a relationship that you're not sure if it's healthy for them is something totally different. Or confronting someone because you've seen them make a string of decisions and it's very clear to you that they're not good decisions. They're obviously going down a path that's just not who they want to be about and not the friend that you used to know. And so you want to speak up. But that's completely different than saying, dude, you got toilet paper on your shoe. And so for the most part, we just avoid those conversations altogether. How many of you would say, I prefer to just stay out of people's business and I just don't bother people. I just go about my own thing. They can make their own mistakes and I'll just do me and make sure I do me the right way. Because let's be real, you don't want to ruin a friendship, right? Like, you don't want to ruin a friendship. You don't want to make somebody mad. It may be that you've done that same thing. And so you don't want to come across as a hypocrite because your friend knows what you did last summer. And so you don't want to come across as like that hypocrite of a friend. Or maybe you think, it doesn't even matter what I say. This person's not going to listen to me. Right? This person doesn't listen to anybody. Why would they listen to me? Or maybe you really want to say something and you should say something, you should do something, but you just don't know what to say or how to say it. And then there's some of you, and I know some of you in here, you're the opposite. You have no problem telling people what's on your mind. You tell people way more than you should what exactly you are thinking. And it can get you into trouble sometimes. Right? You just tell people exactly how you see it, whether they ask for your help or not. But the problem with that is that you tell them in a way where they can't hear it. They don't want to listen to you. You ever had somebody talk to you that way? And you're like, why are you coming at me like that? And you just totally tune them out. We probably all wrestle with this because we all experience it on some level. We know what it feels like to need to say something, yet finding ourselves unsure about how to say it, how to go about it. And so what if we could learn a better way to approach difficult conversations? What if there was a way to be helpful, like really helpful, when we choose to speak up? What if there was a way to have difficult conversations? And let's be real, we live in a world and in a very specific time right now when we need to have a lot of difficult conversations. And what if we could have those and actually bring about something that's good? Okay, this is the part where as a pastor in a church, I tell you that the Bible speaks exactly to this problem. And I say that because it's absolutely true, because the Bible actually addresses this very thing. Because here's something we got to remember about the Bible. The Bible is a bunch of people like you, like me, trying to figure out how the heck do we live in this world, in God's world, and live it to the best of our ability. How do we do that day in and day out? That's what the Bible really is. It's trying to figure out, what is God like? What kind of life is God calling us to live? And people struggle with it. One of those people who struggled with that was a guy who experienced an amazing transformation. He once was named Saul. He met Jesus He started following Jesus, and he completely turned around his life. He went from throwing Christians in jail to trying to tell everybody about Jesus. And he started planting churches, groups of people who come together to follow Jesus together. And in one of those churches, a church in Galatia, which is modern-day Turkey, he writes this. I want you to hear like he's talking to you. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. I want to focus on that first part. Paul's saying to the Galatians, and he's saying to you and to me, if we have any friends and we share the same values, we share the same faith, we have the same kind of goals, and one of us slips up in those efforts, and we venture into something that is harmful, then the other person has a responsibility to help that person get back on track, right? So much for staying out of each other's business. In other words, he's saying you and I should go further than just speaking up, being like pointing something out and saying, oh, no, hey, you did this. I just want to let you know you did this in case you didn't know you did that. I'm just telling you, you did that. He's saying, no, we should go even further than that, than just a conversation, to actually help someone get back to the best place they can be, which is on track with what God says is best. And we'll get to that a little bit more about that in a second. And so there's a lot that Paul says, but there's a lot that Paul is not saying, and I want to be really clear what Paul is not saying. He's not saying that you are personally responsible for your friend's decision making. And whether or not they make wise decision, that falls on you. He's not saying that. All right, I want to be really clear that he's not saying that. He's not saying, hey, go put yourself in a position that sets you up for failure when you go have this conversation. He's not saying that either. Right? This requires a lot of wisdom and thinking before we actually intervene into somebody else's life. And so it's going to require that we invite other people to come alongside us to help us figure it out. That's why we're starting this conversation in the first place. And so the point, according to Paul, is that with humility and gentleness, we can help people get back on track. We can help people who are struggling, who are making poor decisions, get back on the right path. He continues in verse 2. He says, share each other's burdens, and in this way, obey the law of Christ. Who knows what the law of Christ is? Well, I won't make you guess. I'll tell you. The law of Christ, Jesus was asked to say, what's the greatest commandment, right? And he basically said, hey, all of the law, everything the prophets ever said, all hangs on this idea that you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength, and you should love your neighbor as yourself. Right? And so the simplified version of that is that the law of Christ that Jesus declared kind of sums up all of the Bible is love God and love people. Love God and love people. That's what it means to share each other's burdens. When we share each other's burdens, when we take on somebody else's burden, we help them carry it, we're obeying the law of Christ to love God and love people. Now, I want you to think about this idea of sharing someone else's burdens by thinking about fitness training. Anybody train? Anybody out there lifting weights? Gyms are slowly opening up. All right. When you're fitness training, right, and you're trying to just like get your max, you're trying to you're just trying to hit that bench real hard or hit that squat real hard, and you want to do like as much weight as you think you can manage, you really need a spotter. You need somebody who's going to help carry that weight, right, so that you don't crush your chest, okay, so that you don't throw out your back even as a 15-year-old, all right? A spotter helps carry the burden of that weight, of that barbell, of that dumbbell. Now, you ever seen somebody totally screw that up? Probably, but I want to watch it anyways because for some reason I have this sick thing just about watching people fail at things. So let's take a look at what's being a spotter should not look like.
Oh my God. Espérate. Can't help you. You're
Oh man, you need a new friend. A friend with muscles. That's what let's be real. I wanted to show that because we screw this up so much. We feel like, man, I need to say something to my friend. I love my friend. I care about my friend. I need to speak up in this moment because I know that they're just not thinking straight. But we botch it all the time, just like that spotter. We screwed up because we don't know exactly what we're getting into. We're not prepared to handle the weight of that burden. And so we're just like, I'm trying to help you, but I don't know how. Chest crushed, annihilated. It's painful. It's painful, right? And so we have to think differently about how we approach people. Because the truth is, we owe it to each other to speak up. I absolutely believe that we owe it to each other. You know, when Paul was writing to this church, he was writing to friends. He was writing to people that he cared about. He cared deeply. And so he could say those things, right? He wasn't talking to strangers. And so I'm not saying, hey, you should go call out every stranger you know. Just start knocking on people's doors. I know what you did. No, that's not what we're saying. But he had a relationship with people he cared about. And so he understood, hey, I owe it to them. They owe it to me. We owe it to each other to speak into each other's lives, not just to point the finger, but to help carry whatever burden somebody is going through, whatever has led them to make the decisions they're making. So we can think about it this way, right? That as followers of Jesus, we shouldn't just point the finger and laugh, right? Like if I had a booger hanging from my nose and you just pointed and laughed, or you just talk behind my back to other people, right? That's not what we're invited to do, to point our fingers. We're invited to share the burden of that weight of whatever it is. Now again, some of us in here, some of you watching might think, I'm not afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to call people out. Right? I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'll just say whatever. I want to remind you of a couple words that Paul snuck into that verse very intentionally. Right? They've been translated this way. He said that we should be gentle and humble. Gentle and humble, meaning that what we say is just as important as how we say it. You ever heard that? Parents ever told you that? What you say is just as important as how you say it. So I think being kind, being helpful, and encouraging actually shows people that we want to help them. The way we speak to people shows them that we want to help them out of love, not because we're trying to look better and we're trying to make them look bad. But hard conversations are just that, right? They're really hard. Hard conversations are really hard. But here's the thing. Avoiding a hard conversation isn't loving. Having the hard conversation, totally difficult. But avoiding it, that is just not loving. Last week, Joe talked about how we're invited to be people who are known by our love. And that's what we should want our whole life to be about. And love pushes us to talk about those difficult things. A few days ago, I discovered a new series on YouTube by an ex-NFL player by the name of Emmanuel Acho. And he has a few episodes. He's had some celebrities on there. And I love the title of his YouTube series. It's so timely. It's called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. Right? I saw that title and I was like, I have to see what this is. And the first episode I watched was with Matthew McConaughey, who is totally cool and one of the weirdest celebrities I've ever heard talk. But their conversation is so honest, it's so genuine, it's so gentle and kind and humble. It's amazing because people today don't know how to have conversations. We know how to point and accuse people of things, but we don't know how to have a genuine, honest, respectful conversation. And that's what my hope is for you, that you will learn how to do that and want to do that. And I highly recommend you check out uncomfortable conversations with the black man. Now, the reality is you're probably not going to be having a ton of conversations about race necessarily. That might not be the thing you have to speak up about over and over again. Although if you have the opportunity, I hope that you'll be the kind of person that will speak up. But what does this actually look like for you? Well, I think on a big level, it means that when we're going to approach somebody, we let love be our filter, right? You guys know what filters are. You use filters on your phones all the time, right? A filter, whether it's on Snapchat or Instagram or just in your phone camera, right? It changes the way that something appears. And no matter where you point it, right, it's a changed view. We use filters because it enhances our perspective. And when we use love as our filter, love enhances our perspective, and we see that person, we see somebody in a whole new way. We see them in the way that God sees them when we let love be our filter. And so how should we apply that love filter? I know that's what you were going to ask me. In this way, let love be the filter for your involvement. Right? When you're trying to figure out, like, should I even get involved or should I just mind my own business? Let love be your filter, right? When you're not sure if you should get involved in a situation, ask yourself, what's the most loving thing I can do? Is the most loving thing that I should do is speak up and say something to this person? I love this person, it's my friend. Is the most loving thing that I should do is speak up to an adult in this person's life because it's beyond me? And I need to speak to an adult about this? Or is the most loving thing you can do in that moment to just back off and mind your own business? See, when you let love be your filter, it can help you make that decision. It helps you to check your motives. But it's tricky. It's tricky to figure out. And so that's why we encourage everybody to be in a small group, to be connecting with people on a regular basis, to be connecting with an adult who cares about you and loves you and may or may not know some more things than you do, may or may have some more experiences to speak from, to just be a voice for you to bounce things off of. And then once you're absolutely sure, the next step I should take is to get involved, then here's how you apply that filter. Again, let love be the filter for your words and actions. So you let love help you figure out if you should get involved, and then let love be the filter for your words and actions. How many of you are so good at filtering your words when you're here? Oh, come on. Only my wife makes a noise? Yeah, we're all good at it. Let's be real, right? You're good at it too. You're good at filtering your words around specific people, and then when you're around other people, you don't filter your words. We're all highly skilled at it. And so this is an easy transition for us to let love filter our words and actions. Here's something that you can say. Actually, maybe better that you put it in the form of a question. When you're addressing someone and you're like, man, I see they're going this direction. I know this is not who they want to be. This is not helpful. This is actually harmful for them. And you want to speak up. You could say something like, hey, look, we've known each other for however long. And we've really gotten to know each other, and I think you're a great person for these reasons. And these choices that you seem that you're making, that I'm observing, they don't seem to line up with who I know you to be. Do you think that's something that's worth taking a look at? See, and you did your part, and you might need to follow up a little bit more, but the responsibility doesn't just die with you, right? It's on the person to make decisions. Right, but you can speak up if you let love filter the way that you speak up, right? When you let love filter your words and actions, you're not texting your friends about this person. You're not posting about this person, right? You go directly to the person or directly to somebody like a parent, right, or a pastor or somebody who can speak directly to this person. And then just ask yourself that old question, like how do I want to be treated? How would I want someone to come at me? I want somebody to come at me in such a way that I'd actually hear what they have to say, right? It's not about making you look right and making that person look wrong. And so we have to filter our words. We have to filter our actions. And when we let love be our filter, here's what happens. We end up carrying the weight of their burden. When we let love filter whether or not we should get involved, how we should speak up, what we should do, that's when we're able to help them carry that burden. When I was a senior in high school, I experienced this for myself. I started my senior year. We always had a retreat at the beginning of the year. And I started my senior year. We had a chapel. I went up front. I got the microphone. And I even liked hearing myself talk back then. And I started talking about how my senior year was going to be about leaving a legacy. John Bowling was going to leave a legacy as a teenager, as a follower of Jesus, as a leader in my school, blah, 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 blah. I'm great. These are all the ways you're going to look up to me by the time we graduate, right? How many of you would say that? You're like, no, I would never dig myself into that hole. Well, guess what? I was a teenager and a human being, which meant that my life was totally inconsistent. And I started making some choices that didn't line up with that legacy I wanted to leave. And I remember people started talking about me behind my back. I could hear because they would say just loud enough, just within earshot. You've done it before. It's been done to you. You're like, oh, yeah, I heard that. Some people talked about me behind my back. Oh, legacy, blah, 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 blah. And then I had one friend, only one friend, who actually came up to me and was like, dude, do you remember when you said you wanted this year to be all about all that stuff you said? And do you realize what you're doing now doesn't line up with that? And I was like, yeah. And he was just my friend. And he didn't do a whole lot more than that, except just bring it to my attention and stayed my friend. Didn't ditch me after that. And I started to make different choices. So you tell me, which was more loving? The people who talked about me behind my back or the friend who approached me gently and humbly? Which was a filter of love? That's what I hope for you. I hope that you'll let love be your filter, because I think that's how our friendships change. I think that's how our families change. I think that's how our communities change. I think that's how our country and our world can make some really needed changes if we let love be our filter in how we approach one another. Let's pray. Thanks, God, for the patience of everyone to hear all of this. And thank you that you have a desire to work in us. And you've given us the responsibility. We get to be your hands and feet in this world. We get to show people who you are. And we do that by what we say and what we do. And we could get scared because it seems like a big responsibility, but yeah, we can also just rejoice and be glad because you give us the ability to do it. If we just trust you, if we just trust in those who are close to us, if we're just willing to put ourselves out there. I pray for each and every person who has someone in their life right now and they're wondering, should I say something? Should I speak up? Give them the courage to let love be their filter, to know if they should or know if they should talk to somebody else. It may just be received well, received with love, so that both people can become who you created them to be. God, thanks that you love us so much, that you love us exactly the way we are and way too much to leave us that way. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
That was a great talk, man. That was
Thanks.
good.
I know it was long, but
It was a little long, but that's all right. That's all right. There's people in here and probably got distracted, and it was all right. But you made a great point with letting love be your filter. That is awesome, and I think sometimes we forget about it. I think sometimes we forget to do that. It's like you said, it's super easy to be able to just go and just talk about someone behind their back.
yeah.
So
I think we all want to be known as people who are loving.
yes, I think
I don't
so.
know anybody who doesn't want that. I mean,
Y'all want to
people-
be known for loving, right? Honestly, that's
But do we really want to? But it actually takes work.
it does.
It takes paying attention to ourselves and actually doing some work.
Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of that, we also have on top of just talking about it and kind of engaging this way, we also have our YouVersion Bible app thing that we're doing as well.
Absolutely. I know everybody in here is reading it.
Yes, I know I'm reading it, same as everyone else. If you are a student or not student, you can actually get on the Stew.
Absolutely. Parents, if you're watching, I encourage you, read with your kids. They love to talk about the Bible with you.
Yeah,
No, they don't.
It's a great, it's a great one. It really is. It's talking about love, hate, and you're talking about how to enjoy yourself, but it's also talking about loving other people in the Bible.
Absolutely.
So, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so just a reminder, there continue to be small groups meeting, and we're just going to keep saying that if you're not in one, man, we'd love for you to be in one, but we don't always know if you're not getting connected that way. So this is where you get a little bit of responsibility and get to reach out so that we can help you get plugged into the right group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we got camp coming up.
I know.
And as you see,
I like your
I like
shirt.
these shirts, man. These are
It's
awesome.
good. It's comfy.
They are, and
No,
they
it doesn't
breathe
like
well.
stick to my armpits or anything.
I-
Although it is a little damp, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think having everybody in here made me nervous, so my pits got a little extra sweaty tonight.
TMI. All right, so we got Mix, which is middle school, and we got Move, which is high school.
That
Mix
is right.
July 9th through the 11th.
And Lake House is confirmed
It's gonna
for
be
the 11th.
amazing.
That's right.
Not quite for Move yet, but
You're not supposed to say that.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. He'll learn eventually.
I'll learn something.
But the cool people are signing up for Move. So make sure that you do that. It's only $50, and that literally covers everything. And you get free stuff out of it, which is totally cool.
Yeah.
And you get to eat great food.
Yeah, for
And
$50.
And hang out with these cool people.
Like,
so
this
that's
is amazing.
I know.
And then on top of that, we also got church online still.
Church is still happening online. I know that there are some people that are coming with their families now, which is great. You can register online. Make sure that you do that early in the week because those services fill up. And then I think still on Thursdays, as of right now, they're doing worship nights.
That's cool.
So if
And
you've
they've
just
been wonderful.
missing that, you want to get your worship on with some people who are doing it live, then definitely do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to give some stuff away.
Yes,
we are, and we should do that. I'm being handed some names.
So for the people in-house, they had a raffle.
They had a raffle ticket. All right.
That they didn't, did they know?
Did we determine which prize is Mystery A and Mystery B?
Liz?
Whatever one you pick, that will be it.
Liz has
Okay.
decided.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick a name at random. Oh my gosh. This is not rigged.
Man, I think his price should be something else.
I don't even think he's going to want to come up here and get this prize.
Probably not. I think he should, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Finn.
Finn! Let's go!
I swear, these don't all say Finn. Okay, maybe those ones do. Just kidding. They don't. Anyway, do you want Mystery A or Mystery B?
What should I do?
Me, Mystery B. Yes,
Is it good?
It's not
Is it
rigged.
the good one?
it's the good one.
Yeah.
Give it up for Finn. He's the proud owner
Let's
of this
go.
wonderful picture. I expect that. I expect
And we're
you
gonna sign it.
to send us a photo of it up on your wall. All right,
Yes.
enjoy.
And
you.
before you leave, we're gonna sign it. So
We will sign it. It will be worth something.
It'll be someday. One of us will
some
be
point
famous.
after we die. All right. Hey, we need to wrap this up, but you want to announce the middle school giveaway
Yes.
for those watching online?
It is Hannah Biegler.
All right, Hannah, and
job,
you're
Hannah.
you don't get to pick, but you win this.
You
Whatever
win
is in Joe's hand.
Yeah. Look at that. It's amazing.
I don't think she knows what it is.
This is a gift card to Starbucks? Yeah,
Starbucks.
To Starbucks.
Sweet. All
I
right.
should know.
You can take your mom out to Starbucks. That's a good thing.
Awesome.
All right, well, that's all we got for this week. But we'll be back next week. And if you're in middle school, then you are invited to be in here next week and do it.
Yeah.
Do
Just
it.
come and hang out. It's going to be awesome.
Scott Chase, Associate Pastor Scott Chase, is going to be here as our special guest, bringing the word. So that should be good.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Hey, I'm John.
I'm Joe. Peace out.
Peace.